Okay, good job. All right, so we're here on this wonderful, wonderful Thursday evening. And this is like a day that I normally like to do like my classes. So let me just talk to you guys about home care. I'll put this in home care. Why is this not typing the care 101? Hey guys, as you come in, let me know where you're watching me from. Let me know where you're watching me from. I feel like I have to move. So I'm like here and here and here. Let me know where you're watching me from. If I was doing this, if I was starting a home care agency from scratch, this is what I'm going to talk to you guys about, some things that I would do. But I'm going to be on here answering some questions. Let me put this in the chat. Hey, New Jersey. Let me type this in here for my TikTok crew. Let me type this in. If I was starting another home care agency from scratch with limited funds, this is what I would do. Okay, I just want to put that in there. Put that in there. Hey, Philadelphia. Hey, guys. Okay, thank you so much for continuing to let me know where you're watching me from. I'm going to move you guys over. I thought I was going to let you see my wonderful, what's it called, tree skirt, but she in the way a little bit. Okay, so first, before I get started, did you have any questions that you want me to go over? Because you guys know I can just cover a lot of different things with this particular topic of if I was starting a home care business from scratch, what would I do? But first, let me ask you: are you waiting on your application to get approved? Okay, congratulations. When did you submit it? What would you? Let me first start. How can cover payroll for employees? Okay, okay. Florida, okay. Texas, okay. So thank you. So hey, Virginia Beach, thanks for letting me know. 2 weeks ago. Okay, congratulations. Okay, so what would I do if I was starting a home care agency from scratch? Right? Anybody like that title? I probably won't get to everything because it's like so many things, but this is what I feel led to kind of share with you guys today. But remember, if you had limited funds, if I had limited funds, I was starting from scratch with the knowledge that I have. But first, let me reset. For those of you who are joining me for the first time, or you've been following me for some time, my name is Sean, or my full name is LaShondia. My name is Sean, aka the Savvy Business Chick, and I always say, making sure you know your purpose and destiny in the marketplace. Why? Because as a Christian business mentor or coach, I think it's important for you to know that your purpose, your place is in the marketplace, right? Maybe even like your ministry, right? Is here in the marketplace, right? You're going to do more with your business being successful, right? You're gonna do more with your business being successful as a Christian, right? So I want to encourage you that if you have this dream, if you have this idea, this goal, like it's not just there for a thank you for sharing. It's not just there for no reason. It's a purpose, right? And so once you really understand what your purpose is in the marketplace, then you will like to start moving in that direction. And once I did, I know that's what I did as well. Like everything that my business has accomplished. I've been able to give back so much to people in need, um, other business owners, etc. Right? So if I was starting a home care agency from scratch with limited funds, the first thing I would do, and can you guys give me the number one? Can you give me the number one to make sure you're hearing me good? I want to see what the delay is. Hey, how are you? I want to see what's the delay. Get number one. And number one. Okay, cool. I would do market research. I know you guys probably hear me talk about this all the time, but I really like sometimes the more I talk to new people on a call, like I'm like maybe they told me they listened to my video, or they caught me on live, or they told me they've been binge watching me on YouTube. They told me this, but they obviously they must have heard me talk about this market research, right? Right. So main reason I have a whiteboard in the back, but I'm not sure if I'm going to use it, is because you need to know where your clients are. Do you realize that some of you, not all of you, some of you get started and you choose where you're going to provide service, but you haven't really scoped out where your clients are, right? And this is essentially the blue ocean, red ocean marketing strategy. Have you guys heard me talk about that book before? I'm going to type it in the comments. If you've heard me talk about that book before, Blue Ocean, Red Ocean Strategy. I don't know if this is strategy. Right? Have you guys heard me talk about that before? Actually, I gotta move this over for a little bit for my, YouTubers. Sorry, guys. Record. Blue Ocean, Red Ocean Strategy. And it's my book up there. It's my book over here. I think recently I gave one of my books to somebody. Let me check real quick. Okay. So actually, it's just Blue Ocean Strategy. And then what it says, and I want to read this to you. It says, how to create uncontested market space and make competition irrelevant. So going back to number one, reason why I would do this, like if I was to show up in Virginia Beach, in Philadelphia, in New Jersey, in Texas, in hey Erica, I have not forgotten about you. Do you know how to join the live? Let's see if I can try to see if I can spotlight you. Oh my gosh, how did I mess that up? Okay, try to see if you can send me an invite. I'm trying to see if I can invite you. Okay. Okay, Blue Ocean Strategy. Okay, so sorry for the interruption. So if I was to show up in your state, in your city, I would start this. And if I was starting from scratch, right? I'm not, yes, I'm going to look at the home care license requirements. Yes, I'm going to do all of that. I'm going to cover all of that. But most importantly, I am going to find where my potential clients are. Numero uno. I'm going to find where my potential clients are. You guys do the opposite. And particularly those of you who are in Pennsylvania. And I'm not picking on you, but believe me, I believe in you. I want the best for you. But just remember, a lot of my people that come from Philadelphia specifically, you guys don't want to move outside of PA. You don't. Philadelphia. You are, that is your stomping ground. And sometimes I feel like maybe you feel like you have something to prove because when you glow up or you level up with your home care business, yeah, I want you to join. Level up with your home care business. You just don't really take into consideration that you can make money anywhere, right? Don't be so consumed with making money in an area that you're familiar with. Go where your clients are. So I want somebody to type that down. Go where your clients are. And that's why numero uno, right? And this is something you like the way that we do it in my home care licensing program. We do thorough market research, but guess what? That's this thing is free. It's free to research how to get go where your clients are, right? Go where your clients are. Most of you would not be able to tell me whether you're an aspiring home care business owner or you're an emerging home care business owner. Aspiring means that you're not quite licensed. You have this aspiration of starting a home care business, but you haven't completed the licensing process yet. Or emerging, meaning it's like if you think about emerging, think about somebody that's merging into the marketplace, merging into um, ongoing traffic, right? Merging. So that's why I kind of term it emerging. Most of you, if I was to take a vote, most of you do not know where your clients are. You have an idea, but you don't know. And I'm telling you, if I was to start a home care agency in your state from scratch, just picked up, go there, I would find out where my clients are. That would be numero uno for me, right? Right? So if I had 30 days to plan, if I had 30 days to put some things together, I'm going to find out where my where my potential clients are. Now, going back to why this is so important and why this follows a very simple strategy. Now, look, I'm recommending a book. I don't pretend to know everything. I will tell you if I have gotten concepts from books or even other people and modified that. You guys ever, have you ever like been given a recipe or you followed a recipe, maybe on TikTok, maybe on Pinterest, and because you really wanted to make something, like the other day, I got like the Salisbury steak crock pot recipe, right? So I made it, and then after you make it the first time, you can go and like add your own off to it, right? I call that mastering something, right? So the first thing you do is you learn something. The second thing you do is you master it, right? And sometimes mastering doesn't come the second time. Sometimes it doesn't come the third time, but it might come the fourth time, right? So I'm going to get in there and I'm going to figure out where my clients are. Again, reason why I said that's important, because a lot of you, when you do start your home care agency, you go into Medicaid, um, you go into a community that you would actually get Medicaid clients from, trying to market private pay services. And those people are just not going to buy from you. And if that's because you don't know where your clients are, right? So this book is also on Audible. They're not paying me anything. I'm just sharing with you guys a really good resource that if you're not good at reading or if you like to go over things more than once, get this on Audible, right? My version is that I get the book, and if it's on Audible, I listen like while I'm in the car. I listen while I'm sitting at one of the kids' activities, like they're in swim now, right? Um, I listen passively, maybe while I'm cooking or doing something like that. And then I might go back to like chapters or something like that. But like, oh, that was really interesting what they said, right? And I may go read it. And then I may go read it and then listen to it again. I actually learned that strategy from a non-figure chick. I don't even call people chicks, but yeah, non-figure business owner that I had a coaching lesson with, and she was like, "Sean, I learned this from a billionaire. I'm going to teach it to you." And so you need to just know that you you can't just listen to something or hear something one time. And for all of my Christian business owners, they don't even do that in church. You know how like they'll just like repeat like some scriptures, and you be like, "Oh, I didn't think about it like that." And you know that the message is like completely different. So I think, don't get tied into, "Oh, I read it once," or I even um I've had some mentees tell me they watched one of my training videos like 3 times until they mastered how to market to like senior living communities. And then that's why they end up 4Xing initially, then 7Xing. Have you guys heard of the term 10X? That means you kind of blow up with how much results you're getting. Let me check these. I'm getting a lot of comments on TikTok. So let me make sure I'm not ignoring anybody. Thank you so much for sharing. Okay, this is off topic, but can a non-skilled home care apply for Medicare? No, you could apply for Medicare Advantage, but not Medicare. Go where your clients are. Yes. Okay, so that's number one. For starting from scratch, I am going to do my market research so I can know where I'm where to go first to get my first clients, right? Because I have the mindset. Success has told me, history has told me that I have the ability to get private pay clients. It's just now in my DNA. And this is something that if you're an aspiring home care business owner, you need to do a major mindset shift, or whatever you've read on in those Facebook groups, or whatever you've heard about how difficult it is to get private pay clients. I want you to cleanse, detox, because that is going to hold you back from actually getting those kind of clients. Oh, I thought you just joined, Erica. I thought I just saw you join. Okay, wait a minute. We got Erica and Erica. Wait a minute. Look, I can hear you. I'm still figuring out how to use my let me see how I can expand it. Oh, look at me. Okay, guys, we got a special guest. We've been trying to do this for a while. First of all, I know my folks on YouTube, you're gonna be a little bit upset. But if you listen, me and Erica have been we've been playing DM tag so that she can talk to you guys about non-medical transportation companies. And I do want to catch her while she's available, because a lot of you want to parallel your home care or home healthcare agency with um, a non-medical transportation company. So Erica, please explain what's going on. Okay.
Hey everybody, how y'all doing tonight? Happy, what's today, Thursday? Well, happy holidays, you guys. I am Erica the Boss Chick. Listen, I do several things, but she brought me on to talk to you guys about I teach non-emergency medical transportation. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I was turning you up to make sure people on YouTube can hear you. But go ahead.
Okay, so I teach non-emergency medical transportation, or NEMT. NEMT is transportation provided to an individual that needs to go to the doctor that does not have reliable transportation, right? They're not in a medical emergency. They don't have to, call 911 just to get to the doctor to say, hey, I need to go and get my blood pressure checked. I like to say it as it's a preventative transportation, because if you're able to go to the doctor like you're supposed to go to, guess what? 9 times out of 10, unless it's just a medical emergency, you don't have to go to the emergency room to get they need transportation to, chiropractic, physical therapy, just all types of things, and you will be transporting. When you're looking for a grant, make sure that you have what they need. Make sure your business is registered. Make sure if you have a registered business, make sure it's in good standing with your Secretary of State, even with your home care business, because just because you have an LLC or S corp, C corp, or partnership does not mean your business is good standing if you're not filing those franchise taxes. So with grants, you want to make sure there are plenty of grants available. It's all about researching. So make sure I'm actually going to go live on my platform in a few minutes to talk about grants. I talk about grant readiness, but yes, Savvy Business Check, there are grants that are available for businesses and nonprofits, especially for those in the home health business.
Okay, guys. So if you're looking for grants for your startup or for your working capital, then will you be sharing do you share tips like these are the ones to apply for before the end of the month? Like do you do that, or how do you usually share?
So, normally when I go live, I talk about the common mistakes to avoid. I talk about being grant ready. I do share some grants. Angie, she did put my handle up there. You didn't see it. I'll make sure I put it on for you.
Yeah, I put it up there.
Okay. So I do share some grants. I do have a grant community that I just a new one that I just started. I have grant ebooks, so I have grant writing services. So I do it all. But there are grants that are available to individuals that need a grant for their business. Mm-hmm. There are some grants that are about to expire. That the deadline is approaching near December the 30th. There are some grants with.
I'm playing around with stuff. I'm sorry.
there are some grants with application fees. So yeah, I see some grants, but please don't let anybody ever tell you a grant is guaranteed. A grant is not guaranteed. So
I believe that.
Grants are not guaranteed. So many people feel like You know, I was told this person would be guaranteed, and it's not. So, but there is money out there available.
Yeah.
If you're looking to start a non-emergency medical transportation business, I'm here.
All right. Now, these are the kind of questions that people ask me. What state have you worked in to help other people start the non-medical transportation business that you found that
now is in Philadelphia.
Okay.
I've done it's a lot of states. I've done Louisiana, of course, Texas, Minnesota. It's quite a few states that I've worked with, but it's not a state that I won't be able to work with.
But do you like some states better than the other? Like because of the process is just like kind of easy?
Yeah, of course, some states are better than the other, but you know, it's not a state that I won't get done.
Got you.
I want to tell people when it comes to non-emergency medical transportation, do remember this: that some states require you to have 3 vehicles. Some require you to start with 1 vehicle. There is no guarantee, but I'm teaching you the process and to get started with your business. Has she ever worked with Maryland? Have I worked with Maryland? I'm not sure. I have to look and see. I've worked with a lot of states, but just know it won't be hard for me to do it. This is what I do. I started my business back in 2014, you guys. So I've been doing this. I know the ins and outs of running a transportation business.
And here's the thing, guys. What happens is that reason why she says she knows a lot of states is because once you have mastered that part of the healthcare industry, you know, as far as business, a lot of the regulations are the same, right? So of course some states kind of like maybe interchange, like how she said one state may require that you have to have 3 vehicles, one may say you may only need to have 1. Okay, somebody else is in Indiana, they want to know about that. In Texas that they're interested. So when you have someone that knows that particular industry and the license requirements, then you can pretty much trust that they'll be able to get you through the process smoothly. Okay, so what about Texas? Have you done Texas and Indiana?
I have Texas, so I know Texas like the back of my hand.
She knows Texas like the back of her hand.
With Texas, depending on what part you in, because there are different areas. So depending on what broker you get with, there are different brokers. Y'all, when you're starting your NEMT company, if you're going to get paid by Medicaid, you will be working under a broker. So no matter what state you're in, you'll be working under a broker. Okay, you went for work, you're around the corner from me. So with the broker, it just depends. So with Texas, I can tell you straight up. I think the broker who's the broker? It's either MTM or Access to Care. It just depends. You are going to make sure that your business is registered, and you are going to have to. And no matter what state you're going to have to get that. Make sure you have your NPI number, and I know you have to have one with the home care, and you're going to have to make sure you get a Medicaid number. In the finger, and you have to get a
Medicaid. I got 2 people asking about Indiana.
Indiana, have I done Indiana? But if I haven't, I mean, it won't be a thing. Your broker is. You have to just make sure your business is registered and structured properly. I'm actually getting ready to put together another non-emergency NEMT company now. So I'm not a company webinar, because I'm actually helping one lady. I'm helping 2 build. There's one, like I said, in Philadelphia, and there's another lady in Texas, and there is one more. I think I forgot what she said where she is, but y'all listen. I mean, it's money to be made out here. You have to go out here. You have to do the steps. You have to do the steps. I mean, we can show you, but we can't make you do the steps. You have to. It's parts that you have to be done. Just because you take somebody's course doesn't mean we're going to do it for you. You have to do your part and do your steps. I can just show you and teach you and guide you on how to start your non-emergency medical transportation business.
On the YouTube, I have the 2 people asking about DC or Virginia.
Yeah, I think I've done Virginia. I haven't done DC, but like I said, it's not that I won't be able to do it.
So tell us about the webinar and when is it and how long is the web? Is it a webinar or is it like a couple?
It's actually a live class. I don't understand webinar. Webinars, so people have to sit there and listen to you talk in your monotone. When I do my classes, they are master classes. I like interaction. I like for people to ask questions as we go because I've sat through plenty of webinars and I have questions about something to get to the end where someone asks a question. I forgot. I forgot what I wanted to know. So my master classes are they're very interactive. The first part is telling you about non-emergency. I like to say it's the boring part of class, but it's the most important part because you have to know what you're getting into. That's just like you wanted to, just like you playing around with it.
I'm playing around with it until I figure it out. Sorry.
just like if you want, if you want to become, you have to sit there and you have to take those classes. So.
Oh, thank you so much for the roses. Thanks so much
for the roses. Mm-hmm. So you have to just make sure. So I'm actually getting the dates together. Once I get the dates together, it'll be before the end of the year. I'll give you the information and I'll give you I'll let you know everything.
Yeah, let us know and then put on your radar. We got a lot of people in our community that are Philadelphia, which you're already very familiar with. Then our next big area is the Maryland, DC, Virginia area, but mostly Maryland and Virginia, right? And then we have Ohio. We got a lot of folks in Ohio, and then Texas, like you said, like the back of your hand, and I would say maybe Georgia or Indiana. Sorry, Indiana. Yeah, we already put Texas on the thing, but she's in Texas, so she knows Texas at the back of her hand. So to just put that down. Yeah, I figured that's what you're doing. Yep. Yeah. Okay. And someone asked about Florida.
I think I've done Florida. Mm-hmm. Listen, y'all, when it comes to non-emergency medical transportation, if you take my course, we are basically going over what non-emergency medical transportation is. We are talking about, registering your business. I talk to a lot of people tell me I'm crazy because I should charge more, but I'm actually taking you through the steps to start your business. I'm taking you through the steps. And then I do offer one-on-one, but let me get the class together. I'm leaning more towards the end of December. Mm-hmm. That I want to do it, so I will get with you and let you know.
Okay, yeah. Get with me and let me know. We have some people that just finished our last home care boot camp that, they're waiting for their license. They already submitted, so they have that on their radar. So sometimes people want to submit another kind of form of business structure while they're setting this one up.
Right.
So
what do you help them with? You help them with business structure as well, and
yeah. So my mentorship program is helping people start, grow, operate home care and home health care businesses. So yeah. So back in 2006, I had a mentor, this lady from my church, who helped me start a home care agency. And I had no prior background to home care and didn't even know that healthcare had all these different facets, like the non-medical emergency, the home care or home health care, the staffing agencies. Healthcare has so many different pockets, the assisted livings, the group homes. Our industry is really full, and like everything that we offer, people really need, right? People really need. So this is not. I feel like our industry is not elective. Like somebody can say, you know what, I'm gonna do my own hair, or I'm gonna go get braids, or I'm gonna go get, start wearing wigs, or someone can say, I'm gonna start doing my own nails. But when it comes to healthcare, all of these different services, people need we are a needed industry, and that's why we are at the top 5 of the federal government spending. Federal government spends so much money on health related services. So starting using the same strategy that my home care mentor used to help me start and grow and scale my business, that's what I do with other people. And I don't gatekeep. So people know if I don't know something, I'm going to introduce them to somebody like yourself who knows that, so that they can add that to their business. So that's the short story. So I've been doing it since 2006.
Okay. Y'all got a great mentor. Y'all really do. I just phone from time to time, and I listen. So again, you guys, make sure it's okay. Make sure y'all follow me. From time to time, I go on to talk about non-emergency. I go on to talk about medical carrier, and I also talk about grant writing. So I'm heavy into the grant writing because there's plenty of money there's plenty of money out there, and we leaving it on the table by not applying. So I'm gonna get with you. I'll send you a message, or I think I have your email, or
okay, yeah,
some type of way. If not, send me an email. It's in the link in my bio, and I'll get with you on the glass state and let you know.
Okay, yeah, because I want us to definitely do that whenever you become available, especially for some of those areas that we mentioned.
So do you have anybody that's interested in taking the class, an NEMT class, they want to add it to their business?
Well, I think we just saw 4 people on the live, and then if I send out an email, Josie just said yes. What state are you in, Josie? We just need the information, and I totally agree with you. I prefer to do it on like a Zoom where I can, like you said, interact and be okay.
That's the way I do my things. I will not do I don't know what they do. They evergreen with it. They just they pay for it and watch a webinar and just hear me talk straight like this for no.
Okay. So we got 1 for Virginia Beach, 1 for North Carolina, 1 for Indiana.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. Okay. So let me work on that today, and I'll have your answer by today or tomorrow.
Okay. We'll have that, and then we'll set it up. And then I can. Okay. So I got 2 for
Indiana.
2 for Indiana. Mm-hmm.
Listen, y'all, I'm excited. I love teaching people how to start a non-emergency medical transportation, and y'all, you can make money with it, but you have to. And I teach you both getting with the broker and without a broker as well. Somebody from Georgia as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
okay, and so I'm gonna ask you a favor. I'm gonna put you in the hot seat. Anybody that signs up, give them a special boss chick after Christmas discount.
I was already gonna do it
for the people that come, right? And it don't have to be a lot, because I don't even like asking people to do a discount, but just so they can.
I was gonna get with you on that.
All right, so just so you guys know, I'm looking out for you, but you got to be action takers, right? So I'm gonna recommend that she doesn't have a lot of spaces, right? Because we want people that's going to take action, not people that's thinking about it, people that's being about it, because 2025 is 21 days away.
Mm-hmm.
21 days away, and you keep talking about it, but you're not doing anything. Okay, so one last question on on YouTube, and I know this varies. Martin's is asking, how quick can one get one started?
How quick? So it's not a quick thing. I'm gonna be honest with you, because you are registering with your state, and you are registering and having to get your Medicaid number. So it depends on your state.
Okay.
Especially if you're working through a broker. If you're doing private pay, you can go quicker. But of course, if you want to get paid through Medicaid, it's going to take some time. So don't think this is going to be an overnight process, because it's not. It's all about how we make sure your application is filled out correctly, how soon the state gets to it, how soon you get that Medicaid number. So it's a step. It's a step to it.
Okay.
So I'm not going to sit up here and lie and sugarcoat, like, oh, you'll be starting next week. No.
Right.
Because remember, you are picking up people, human people, taking them to and from to the doctor. Like, you got lives in your hand. This is not an Uber or a Lyft situation.
You're right. Okay, and Chill Sexy Cool said, do you complete the application for Medicaid?
I will. I mean, it's a separate fee, but I do. It is part of my services. I am Erica the Boss Chick. Listen, if you don't know who I am, I'm the owner of Exclusive Consulting Firm. If you don't mind, just let me
go ahead.
I'm the owner of Exclusive Consulting Firm, ECF, and my slogan is "Where your business is our business." Where your business is our business. I do all things from business formation, business setup, business coaching. I help you build business credit. I help you get business funding. If you're looking for a CDFI lender, micro lender, you want to get to SSBCI, you're looking for grants. If you are looking to get into the medical carrier space, if you are, I also just rolled out a new program. If you know any felons, I don't know if y'all saw it.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. I did a call Trump felon to felon. Like, we got felons out here that can't barely get a job, so I teach them entrepreneurship. Because, and I'm a felon. I'm just gonna put it out there. I have 2 felonies, and they told me I was gonna do a lot of things, but I have a contract with the state of Texas. I am a notary. I am a grant writer. So you can't tell me no. I am a licensed claims adjuster as well. A lot of states, they said I wouldn't be able to get, Florida being one. That was one of the easiest states for me. So I do all things business. So if, I know y'all have your coach or whatever, but that's what I do. So
yeah,
filling out application, anything like that, that's what I do.
That's good, because I actually have a lot of people that reach out to me to say, can I start this home care agency? If I have a record, and I tell them which states will allow them to and which states won't.
But so with fellas, I teach them, don't try to get with, and not only do I teach you non-emergency medical transportation, I teach you how to start a passenger transportation business as well. So that's included in my class. You don't have to always just try to go get the contract. There's other stuff you can do, and that's part of my training that I teach about too. Just if you can't get it with Medicaid, private pay, there's other stuff you can do. There's different stuff, you can take people, do the private pay, take them to the airport, do it right on the town. So I just talk about that.
All right. That's cool. Okay, guys. So you want to say, she gonna work it out. She got to work out the course and what's gonna be included, because we're giving her some states and stuff like that. So one of the things you want to do is go ahead and follow Erica the Boss Chick on TikTok, and I keep forgetting my phone number, but I'm going to, when she does.
And if y'all click, I just put some purple hearts. If y'all click on that, y'all can, click my name.
Okay, that's a good. And I'm going to be sending out some text message blasts too. Let me see. I keep forgetting this number. Okay. All right. And if also, if you want to stay in the loop, all right, you want to, I didn't press that right. Okay, so you want to text Home Care Mentor to 833-722 why is this 722-4851. Text Home Care Mentor one word to 833-772-4851. That's 833-772-4851. Let's text Home Care Mentor. And we're going to be start sending out messages with those special deals just for our, elite home care mentees on. I probably will send the code to whatever special Boss Chicks decides to do to be a tax. So you may want to join because I'm only going to be sending out a code there. All right. Thank you for following. And again, text Home Care Mentor to 833-772-4851. And I won't be on here much longer. We were talking about if I was starting a home care business from scratch, what would I do? So I'll let you go. All right. Thank you. Okay, bye. So if I was starting a home care business from scratch, what would I do? Right. So can you just pin the number? Let me try to go pin it again. I think because I had another message pinned, it wasn't letting me do it. Yeah. All right. So that was a special treat. And you guys know for some reason on TikTok, on YouTube, it is not, something's going on with my camera. So please forgive me. You can't see me. But that's just to go to show you guys that I don't gatekeep. If it's somebody that can help you with different aspects of your business idea, business dreams, I want you guys to know about it and be helped, right? Because it's nothing like having an idea and you like, I know I want to do this, I just don't know how. And you can search for hours and hours on YouTube and Google, and people are just tight-lipped. They're not sharing what you need to do. They're not sharing. And instead of getting frustrated with why don't they just help me, just know that, if it was easy, everybody would do it. That's number one. If it was easy, everybody would do it. But it's not supposed to be that it's that easy for you. It's supposed to be that you become better, you become wiser, and you end up getting all of the information you need to succeed, right? When I first got into home care, I didn't know how to do some billing. So when people ask me, oh, how do you do the billing? Well, guess what? It varies per payer, right? The VA has one way to do their billing. Medicaid had another way to do their billing. Of course, private pay, that's however I want it to be. Some of the long-term care insurances, they have different ways that you would get paid. Private insurance, different ways you get paid. The workers' compensation companies, different ways you get paid. So trying to address that blanket question that people ask me all the time, how do you get paid? How do you get paid? First, I just want you to know that there are multiple payers. Like for home care agencies, just the non-skill. I want you to process in your mind. This is something I'm going to be going over in my own webinar. There are coming up. That's why I said I'm gonna sign up for that text message, right? So I can let you guys know when it is. You have 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different payer sources. And you guys may only know about 2. You may only think it's Medicaid and private pay, but you have 8. I counted it out. I did a class, my last Kickstarter or Startup Bootcamp. That was one of our classes. These are the 8 different ways that you can get paid. If you didn't know that it was that many ways for a non-skilled home care agency, I want you to drop a number 1. If you didn't know, there was 8 different ways. So are you surprised? Are you surprised? Do you feel like, why didn't somebody tell me it's that many ways to get paid? Are you surprised? Remember, the gatekeepers don't want you to know. They don't want you to know that. Yep, only 2. That's what they want you to think. That's why I keep saying, and no shade to people that have Facebook groups. That's why I said, you in those Facebook groups and the information that they share, you are hitting glass ceilings. You are hitting glass ceilings. You think, once I get Medicaid certified, I'm going to be rolling in the dough. And do you know, I know people who are Medicaid certified, Medicare Advantage certified, and they don't know where to find clients. Where do we find these clients? Well, first, it's not about are you ask I'm not sure if you're asking the right question, Nicole. You said, where do we find these clients? I'm talking about payer sources. Yes, Medicaid does not pay a lot. That's why you need quantity. Payer sources. Payer sources. Oh, thing keeps going out. Payer sources. Your payer sources. The payer sources is what I'm going to be sharing. So, just so I can save that for that training, so I actually have it as a on my whiteboard. I have the actual layout, and I actually during that class I put on one side home care and the other side home health care, and it was so encouraging to the non-skilled personal care agencies, home health care agencies, for them to know that they had all of those payer resources. Now, did you hear what Erica said, that there's even private payers in and there's even private payers in the non-medical emergency transportation? You guys need to I don't know what else to say. Just change your beliefs about private pay. Now remember, okay, so home care or healthcare. Healthcare businesses are like this. We have home care, that's your non-medical. We have home health care, that's your medical or your skilled. We have the non-medical emergency transportation company, right? They service services to people, or they provide transportation to the people that we service. We have healthcare or nurse staffing agencies, right? We have assisted living facilities, and we have group homes, right? Right? These are our 6, like, 6. Oh, sorry. And then we have I guess adult daycare. We could do adult daycare. That could be our 7. Oh yeah, that's what they told you. And that's because that is your consultant's experience. That's your consultant's experience. And that is, I don't know if it's a him or her. I'm just going to assume it's her, trying to discourage you from going after private pay clients. Remember, I said if I was starting a home care agency from scratch, if I was to come into your town, start a home care agency from scratch, the first thing I would do is I would map out where are, yep, All of her clients are private pay. I have plenty of new home care mentees and corporate clients that they only do private pay. Oh, look, those are, you have to sign up. Yeah, you have to sign up. You have to sign up for Nicole. Those you have to become a somewhat of like a provider, right? So with that being said, you um how do I say it? I would I would do some market research, find out where my clients are, and then I would go through the regulations. So I'm gonna give you guys four things. So I said I would do market research. My next thing is I would go through the regulations, right? A lot of you skip over this, even if you get help from like somebody like me or you work with a consultant. You need to know your regulations like the back of your hand, right? You need to know the regulations like the back of your hand. Now, not for today or, you know, for some of you getting started, but for most of you operating. Your regulations are your guide to make sure that you stay in compliance. This is why some people, even though it's not required, get accredited. Did you know I have so many friends who are extremely like have extremely successful home care agencies and they were never accredited? Accreditation, like New Jersey requires you to be accredited. If you want to go to Medicare path, you need to be accredited. But for the most part, do you, when someone responds to your advertisement, whether it's on social media, whether it's a Google ad or some kind of other promotion, they don't say, "Hey, I saw your ad and I see that you're accredited." So that makes me feel much more confident about choosing your agency versus another agency. So, yep, that's why I'm calling because I saw that accreditation. I'm going to tell you that never happens because your ideal client, your client, potential client, your client lead, your client's representative does not know diddly squat about accreditation. So the the people that talk to you about being accredited are selling you a are selling you something you don't need right now. I'll just put it like that. Be really, really nice. For most of you, and I would say at least 90% of you do not need that right now. If you want to get it later, more power to you. I've worked with 8ACHC and as a certified consultant, right? And I can't honestly say that I want to push people in that direction because you have to pay to play, number one. But I do want you to, number two, be in compliance, right? Be in compliance. And that comes from you pulling those regulations. So I'm going to pull, so like I said, I'm starting from scratch. I'm going to pull the regulations. I'm going to read them front to back. And because I already have policies and procedures, I can just kind of get started. I can submit an application and, kind of complete the application and do my policies and procedures. I'm probably going to just do that myself. So that will be a little bit of my advantage that maybe you don't have. Then for some states, that require the insurances, I'm going to get the minimum required insurance initially. I was just telling one of my mentees this um, around 3 p.m. today. I was actually on the phone with them when they were calling the insurance company because they said they were getting confused by some of the questions. So what I did is I spoke for them because, as a mentor, I don't like to see you get stuck. So I was like, they were like trying to get them to sign up for like a larger insurance policy than they needed. And I was like, sir, I just want to do the license requirement right now. I said, when my business starts and my license is approved, that I will reevaluate um, getting more insurance. So I'm going to get the minimum amount of insurance. Why? Because if I'm just starting, if I'm just trying to get licensed, I don't need the bells and whistles, right? Now, if I'm in a state that requires that you have to get a commercial space, I am going to get a commercial space that is inexpensive. One room, you know, yeah, it don't even have to have windows. It doesn't have to have windows. You guys get so stuck into aesthetics. You want when somebody comes to your office, they're gonna see, how you have it set up. All of that means nothing to me. All I want to do is get started. I want to have the least amount of overhead, right? The least amount of overhead means I can spend more money on marketing, right? I spend more money on marketing than that marketing money is going to reap the yield in me getting a 24-hour a day client, which is what I got. My first private pay client was 24-hour a day, right? Let me tell you, my 24-hour a day client paid the staff, paid the office, paid me, and paid my nurse. One client. It depends on the. It's a good question. Mitch asks, how much should we invest in an office space? Will we need an office space for 1 to 3 employees? It depends on your state, right? If your state doesn't require you to have an office space, start from home. Um, that's what I did. Start from home. Don't let um, don't let trying to look good get in the way of you being. Yeah, Maryland does. Don't let you trying to look good get in the way of your business being successful. You guys are always asking me, how much money do I need to have saved, or how much money do I need to have for my startup, right? Well, if you go run out and um, get an office space, and the state of Maryland Office of Healthcare Quality takes 6 months to approve your application, and you're paying, even you paying 300, I don't care if you're paying $350 a month for a basic um sorry, I'm looking for my oh, for a basic office space, right? You got $350 a month times 6 months. That's $2,100. What could you have done with $2,100? Put it aside for your marketing. Put it aside for your payroll. I wouldn't be spending money on things that I don't need right now. So it's things that you want and it's things that you need, and that they're on 2 different lists. Keep your overhead very, very conservative, very low, very reasonable, very demure, right? Keep it very demure, right? You don't need that, right? Um, one of my mentees in Pittsburgh, she's been in business for 8 years. Her and her husband have operated her non-medical home care agency in Pittsburgh, PA for 8 years, and she only does private pay. This lady easily is doing like 3 million a year, easily, if not more, because she tried, we got her approved with Medicaid. I helped them get Medicaid approved. I don't know why she wanted to do that. She just said she wanted more options. She ran at 3 million a year. She ran her whole operation out of her home. She said, Sean, I go out to interview my staff, and my clients never come here. What was her marketing strategy initially? just curious. Her marketing strategy was to go out and get clients. I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm not sure what you mean by that. I think respectfully, a lot of you want to know how somebody else is making a certain amount of money, but I clearly share how I made 2.3 million in 2 years, and I have people who go and follow my marketing operational strategy to the T, and I have some people that take the training and still have a block of how it can be accomplished. Yeah, she has private pay clients. She has clients from hospice. She has clients from um, different places. So, where is stop start? How long have you been in business? What is your current marketing strategy? No, Virginia doesn't require for you to have an office space for a non-medical. But with Virginia, you can't be in an apartment, right? Respectfully. You've been in business for a year, and do you have any clients or no? Again, if I was to start a home care agency in Pittsburgh using your state, I would know I would oh, okay. Are you a registered nurse? Are you a registered nurse? My nurses, um, they make time to get licensed, they make time to get credentialed, they don't make time to um, work on their business. You know why? You're too tired. I know that. I would say 80% of my mentees are nurses. I was mentored by a registered nurse. She told me herself what were the setbacks in her business. And that was back in 2006. And so she was running a very successful multi-million dollar home care agency in the 80s. She was an older woman. She could have been like the age of my grandmother. When I met her, she was like 75 years old, right? So she's like literally looking to leave some kind of successor. And she told me herself, this is a problem you're going to have with nurses because my first home care agency was skilled and I knew nothing about nurses. She told me the personality of nurses. She told me how to get nurses to work. She told me what it meant if nurses called off. She told me how to look for nurses who have money problems, how to look for nurses who have relationship problems. She told me how to get nurses to work in a crunch. And she told me that there was a time in her business where she would go work the cases. This is why I always advise you guys to stay away from that bedside, as tempting as it is. And she said she was failing to do her payroll. She was failing to market her business. She wasn't calling her referral sources back. So does any of that relate to any of my nurses? Oh, my hearts are down on TikTok. You guys normally at least get me over to 1,000 hearts. My hearts are down. Oh no. Because if you think this content is good, if you think this video is good, enough people need to hear it. Guess what? Because like I told you, there are a lot of gatekeepers out here. There are a lot of gatekeepers out here. You're not going to find too many people that's going to tell you this is A, B, C, and D. And then when you go do it, you were like, wow, Sean said it was going to be like this. And it actually is. Bedside is paying me close to $100 an hour. It's just tough to leave. I have to call you by your handle name. Stop at $100 an hour. I commend you on that. But let me tell you that you are making enough personally to be able to hire somebody to do some of the things that you can't do. So you are either having a clarity issue, um, clarity on what you want to do and when you want to do it, um, discipline the issue, or delegation issue. Thank you so much for the hearts, guys. Clarity about what you want to do and what time you want to do it and what you want to accomplish, right? Delegation. What can I delegate? If you do it at work all the time, I know RNs be like, nope, I ain't doing that. I'm gonna wait till the CNA does that. I'm gonna let this person do that. So, what time of the day, what day of the week do you have for yourself to rest and to think about what you need to do? This is like a interesting time for me because I'm actually on a fast right now, right? Most people fast at the beginning of the year. So I do a fast now, right? Because January 1, I'm gonna be like, right? So with that, reason why I'm sharing that is because I'm not going to encourage you to do a fast, but I am going to encourage you to take some time out of your day, your week, and carve out 2 hours. Do you think if you think you can carve out 2 hours? I'm not asking. 2 hours could be 30 minutes on Monday, 30 minutes on Wednesday, 30 minutes on Thursday or Friday, and then another 30 minutes on a Saturday or Sunday, right? I just broke it down into micro pieces for you. Carve out that time. And the first 30 minutes, I want you to get clear on your business goals. What do I want? 2004 is about over. We're going to be doing I'm going to be doing something for my existing home care business owners called plan my year. I think that's what I'll call it. Plan my year, right? Because I'm almost finished 2025 marketing calendar, where it's going to go through what you need to do in January, what you need to be doing February, every month to market your home care business, right? This is an idea that God gave me. And I'm trying to, I am about 60% finished writing it out, right? But because I like to teach live, I wanted to do a planning, uh, I don't know if I'm gonna do it once a week or every other week until you guys can get your stuff together, right? Sean, it's out of home, non-medical home care business. How much would it cost? I need to know what state you're in. So thank you. So with that being said, if you ever been to my website, I say I can help you work on your business for 4 to 6 hours a week, right? So for those of you who are existing business owners, I'm asking you for the next 21 days or 20 days, whatever, I want you to do 2 hours minimum a week and work on some things for 2025, right? You know what you're not clear about. You know what you need to do. If it's get credentialed, I want to see a time block for getting credentialed. If it's right now, I'm just going to talk to people that's already in business. If it is doing some interviews, going through resumes, I want you to get clear about that. If it's your social media, right? Planning it out for a whole week. You may want to plan it out for a month. If it's planning it out for a whole week, right? Get clear about that in that next 30-minute slot, right? Whatever the slots are categorized, if you find yourself not being able to finish, meaning getting overwhelmed, um, getting tired, feeling stuck, like I don't know what to do here, this might be a sign that you need to pay somebody to do that. Right. Doing your payroll, doing your billing. Um, uh, Once a year, I took some time out. Sometimes it took me 1 week, sometimes it took me two, and made sure that I wasn't spending too much money on my insurance, right? So that might mean I need to go meet with several people who are trying to get my business so I can, again, spend less money on overhead. I want to spend less money on overhead as possible, right? Then, depending on what year you are in business, you're always supposed to do an annual review of your policies and procedures, right? For some of you, it might mean you need to read the policies that were written for you and to break that down to sections, okay? Because sometimes you don't even know what's in there. Yeah. So whatever you if you guys are familiar with Sarah Blakely, I love her story, even though she's not in our industry. Um, I love her story of becoming a billionaire from a simple idea and $2,500 saved in her savings account, right? And if you read her story, you'll see she was very strategic in getting her Spanx into like Nordstrom's, into boutiques. This is how you guys have to do things for your business. You can't just copy and paste. Oh, I saw another agency do that. I'm going to do it just like that. But then you say you want to stand out. You can't stand out and do the same thing. Like you got to choose one or the other. If you're going to do the same thing, do it in a different way, right? Put a little bit of flair on it, right? That's almost like, okay, well, I make fried chicken shoot too, but I make my fried chicken with honey, right? You know, do it a little bit different, right? Put a little bit of flair on it. But one of the things she says is hire out your weakness. And that's why you actually need to do like an inventory of the things that you are stuck at. Like even me, like I'll be honest, like I've gone through maybe like 3 assistants this year, and one kind of disappointing because um I was trying to do like the personal assistant slash assistant to the president, because there are a lot of days I do work from my home office versus going into um, my office for Savvy Business Chick, right? And because once I left the whole office environment from my home care agency, I never wanted to go into an office again. Like I felt like as a CEO, I never wanted to go in the office again. It just became kind of toxic for me to go into the office because it felt like work. It didn't feel like it did when I first started my home care agency, and that's another story. But this one young lady, you know, she worked with Sarita and Venus Williams' sister. She was their personal assistant. She knew Canva really well. She knew how to do press releases. Like she had a lot of different, but uh, you know, when it came time for her to do just some simple assignments, it's just like it was really trying to make it stuck. Then it was really just not working out. And then I got a guy, he was really, really good. But he is still in school. And so he just you know, we were working together for a couple of months and then he went back to school and so he does some small projects for me. And then I had another person that I was trying to give a chance to. But you know, you may learn this when you first get started, that that whole interviewing people and having them say what they can do, and you really gotta see, you gotta see them work to see if they're willing to really work with a new business owner. I'm not a new business owner, but that's what I experienced when I first started my my home care business, my first home care business, that I could afford to hire people and give them a decent salary, but because I was in a home office, some people were kind of like, I don't know if I should put all my eggs in this basket. So it's like they would apply, they would allow me to hire them, but then they had their eyes elsewhere. So you just got to be mindful when you are hiring people. And thank you guys for the hearts. I appreciate all of you who boosted me tonight. So let me not get off path. Hire out your weakness. Sarah Blakely says, hire out your weakness. And when you hire out your weakness, you actually put yourself in a scaling situation, right? People who scale, build, know that they they needed to duplicate themselves to succeed, right? Because if you're like me, you can't be everywhere. I'm a wife, I'm a mom, I'm a business owner, I'm a um, director on a couple of boards. I have corporate clients. Uh, I do things at my church. Like I'm spread thin. Like literally, I'm spread thin. And so I need someone to be able to do things while I'm on vacation or while I'm sleeping, right? For some of you, that might be finding somebody in Philippines or something like that that can do some stuff for you. Do some social media. I wouldn't have to place do calls. I'm not put I know I've seen a couple of people say give AI some of your tasks. I'm not betting everything on AI. I definitely wouldn't have AI do calls for me. No, you're going to lose the personal touch uh, of that home care needs. You need that personal touch. You need that relationship building. So I wouldn't have them do marketing calls or cold calls for me. Marketing is a weakness and honestly a fear. These marketing companies charge ridiculous. Right. The marketing companies charge a ridiculously high amount, and guess what? They cannot guarantee you that they can get you clients, because a lot of the marketing companies, they don't really understand home care. I'll just put it clear. They don't really understand home care. And a lot of them are looking for you to give them direction on what to do. Only thing they can really honestly tell you that they can do well is run a Facebook ad or run a Google ad for you. And then what? They run a Facebook ad or they run a Google ad for you. Then what? Then what do you do after that? You got to pay them. Then you got to pay the ad fee that they, you know, let's say if it's a Google ad and it's like, $15 a day. Could you have at least done something? Could you have at least done something so you don't have to outsource all of it? What is your fear about marketing that has caused you to do nothing versus something? And I want to end with that. And there. What's your fear about marketing that's caused you to do nothing versus something? We've had a pretty full class. Fear of rejection. Yep. I knew it. Okay. So this is a good thing to end with, right? So your fear of rejection. Your fear of rejection is makes it about you versus about your business. That's number one. I'm gonna let that sink in. They're not rejecting you. You maybe did not do a good job with presenting your business services. Fear of rejection puts you at center stage. It's not about you. Say it's not about me. Say it's not about me. Maybe I didn't do a good job of explaining how my home health care services were a benefit. Maybe I did not sometimes I've had some people tell me, "Oh, I did this, this, market my business," and I'm like, you went to some good places. So, what did you say?" They made it all about them. I told them this, I told them this, I told them this. They made it all about them. So after you gave it your all, I'm just going to take your words, and you said, "Hey, this is me. I started this home care agency because I have really passion for seniors, or I've been a nurse for a long time, and I'm really good at this, and blah 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 blah." And so, yep. So, can you just, I would love to get a referral from you, and if you said anything or in that ballpark of in a presentation, don't be surprised if you get crickets because you made it about you and not about the people that you need to serve. Your marketing presentation is all off. It's off. It's off. It doesn't let the person who is a decision maker or referral source know that why they need to choose you. You haven't given them that. You've told them about you, but you haven't told them why they need to choose you. So, as an exercise, write down, why do I fear rejection would be the worst thing for me, and how can I get past this so that I can start promoting my home care business? So, first column, what why do I fear rejection so much? Is it because I went out there and this is what was said? I went out there and did a presentation and nobody called me back. I went out there, I spent all this money on a lunch and learn, and this happened. Like, write down what this looks like. And if you have not done any of those steps, then your fear, you don't even have like a reference point to your fear because you're just assuming that all of these negative things will happen. And then on your next column, I want you to take that same word fear. What are you missing out on because you have this fear? What are you missing out on? Are you missing out on building a genuine relationship with your referral source, getting better at your marketing presentation, getting better at explaining your home care agency services, getting better at understanding the needs of potential clients, getting better at knowing where your potential clients and leads are located? What does that look like? And then just do a comparison of both columns. So that's what I would do. Okay. Do you have any recommendations for payroll funding or employee recommendations? Do you have any recommendations for payroll funding? What do you mean payroll funding? Are you mean funding your payroll? Funding your payroll for what? Do you have clients yet? You want to have money just sitting there. I missed your Sean Emily. I missed your state that you were in. I gotta get ready to get off. Do you think it's worth the risk to start a new home care agency with no clients? Oh yeah, it's not a risk. Submitting an application for licensure. How do I get 3 clients for a review for the survey when approved? What state are you in? I suggest you go over to my YouTube channel, and I have a free video on low cost marketing ideas. Again, if you are starting a home care agency and you need to get a survey and you haven't done market research first, you haven't done market research first, you haven't developed a marketing plan first, no, your funding sources to cover your payroll, you can get a line of credit, you can get a loan, or if you start with private pay, then you ask for a deposit. Okay, so please do that, because that's not a quick answer. But I do have a free training on how to do some low cost marketing. And just remember, guys, marketing activities is not the same as a marketing plan. Have a good night.